Hello everyone, we are here to configure a basic wireless local area network on our Cisco wireless LAN controller. This is great. The Cisco wireless LAN controller, or WLC, is an amazing box that allows you to have a centralized location for configuring multiple access points and deploying multiple wireless local area networks. So let's take a look at our topology. We've got a Cisco wireless LAN controller off of switch 1. We have a trunk connection to carry multiple VLANs. Why would we want multiple VLANs between the switch and a wireless LAN controller? Because we're going to have one VLAN segmenting our management network. The management network is how we're going to configure the wireless LAN controller, as well as how we will communicate with our Cisco access points. Secondly, we need another network which is going to connect the user traffic from the access points to the wireless LAN controller. And this is the users on the network, their traffic. So we will see these trunk connections in between our switch and the wireless LAN controller, and then even switch into our access points to allow multiple networks to exist and be segmented on those cables. We then have router R1 over here on the left side, which also has a trunk connection, because router R1 is going to be doing inter-VLAN routing and routing between multiple VLANs, which are networks, between itself down to the rest of the topology. Also, if we take a close look, we'll see there's going to be a wireless client connected off of access point 1. Access point 1 has a link with PoE marked on it. That is power over Ethernet. Access point 1 is being powered by the switch 1 itself on port FA01. We're going to get started here. We're going to be using PCB on VLAN 1, the management network, to communicate with the wireless LAN controller and to configure it using a GUI. Let's get started. Here on PCB, we've opened a web browser, and we've targeted the 192.168.200.254, which is the management IP address of the wireless LAN controller. We are crossing the switch from PCB on VLAN 1 and connecting with this wireless LAN controller so we can configure it on the management network. Since we've accessed the control already on this web page, we're going to click Login, and we'll be asked for credentials. With the credentials, we're going to have a username of admin, and then we're going to have a password of Cisco123 with a capital C. I'll click Sign In, and we'll successfully authenticate, and here's our main splash page on the Cisco wireless LAN controller. Right now you can see that we have no wireless networks deployed. We've configured 0 wireless networks, so any access points that are joined with this controller, they have no wireless networks to share with users. We can see that one access point has joined, that is the Cisco access point of AP1 sitting on that topology screen. At this time we have 0 active clients. Nobody has joined our wireless networks because we don't have any wireless networks. So let's make one. Let's create a basic wireless local area network. So to get started, I'm going to click on Advanced. We're jumping right in. When I click on Advanced, we're going to get an overview screen of my Cisco wireless LAN controller. Here it is. You can see that we have one port plugged in, just one. That one green physical port has multiple networks because of our VLANs. We have VLAN 1, which is for management, which we're using right now on this green port. And we have VLAN 5, which is going to be for user data traffic, also on this green port. That is done through what are called VLAN interfaces. VLAN 1 has its own VLAN interface, and VLAN 5 has its own VLAN interface. Top wireless local area networks. It's empty. We've got none right here. So let's get started and make one. I'll go ahead and click on wireless local area networks. Inside of here, there's none listed. So with a drop-down set of create new, we will click go and let's make one. For the profile name, I'd like to name it something like wireless_LAN. And for the actual wireless SSID that the users will see, I'm going to keep it the same, wireless_LAN. The ID is for me to keep myself organized. I'll leave it at the original ID of 1. When I click apply, we are not done. We have just begun. After that loads, we will see here that we have many settings to choose from for our wireless_LAN profile. We can see this is a wireless local area network. The SSID of what the users will see. We should probably turn on this wireless. That's the enabled checkbox. Let's turn on the wireless so the users can connect. We have something called interface group. Right now it's set to management. That is the management network. I don't want users connecting to the SSID of wireless_LAN and jumping on the management network where they can access and configure the controller as well as the access points. Instead, we'll select the other network that's deployed, which is user_WLAN. This would be the user traffic, which is kept separate from the management traffic. That would be the equivalent of VLAN 5. We're not done yet. Let's go into the security tab and actually put a wireless password on that users will have to use in order to get on the network. We'll leave the default security of WPA and WPA2. We will leave WPA2 policy with AES. That's beautiful. But for the authentication key, I'm going to deselect 802.1x, and I want to use pre-shared key, which is PSK. I'll checkmark PSK, and it's going to ask me what password will you have the users type in. And for me, that's Cisco123 with a capital C. That's what the users will need to enter in order to gain access to my wireless. I'll click apply because we are done at this time for a basic wireless local area network. And then we're going to go back to the main home screen and verify that there is a wireless network, that users can see it, and that maybe a client has connected. So I'll click on home in the top right corner. And where before we had 0 wireless networks, now we have 1. Where there was 0 active clients, there is now 1. I can click on that active client and we can get more info about it. I can see the client's MAC address. The client has an IP address of 5.2, which is on the user network. Management network was 200. The user network is network 5.0. The client joined on the user network, and they joined on access point 1 using my WLAN profile of wireless_LAN on the wireless network name of wireless_LAN that the user saw. We have successful connectivity by deploying network settings and wireless settings on a controller and having the controller share it with the access points.